This is the key plank I'm going to forge the remaining of the About all you can do is get it to near shape. I'm going to punch a hole here. Got a bolster around here somewhere. I'm going to drift this a little bit larger now. The hole. Turn both sides. There's the key. Straighten this up a little bit and then do some file work, make it look pretty. It's just a tad longer, but remember on my trunk I got a recessed hole going through wood about this far, so this way it won't be lost. Originally I had some of these handles I do for customer, kind of heart-shaped handles, and I was going to use them, and my wife said I ought to use heavier handles in the truck, make it look better. And so I cut out some plates here. I chased these on a trailer hammer, these outlines around here, and I drilled the holes. And the things for the handles are right here. Receivers. I prefer square holes and square tenons to keep the items from rotating, and when I do, if I don't want to do it hot on the forge, I'll drill a hole and then I'll take small square files and I'll file them out to the size of my tenons on my handle receivers. And on the back side, I usually if I do them in hot, I'll take a round punch or the end of a ball peen hammer, and I'll countersink this. And then when I do file the holes out, I got a recess here for the tenon to fill that in, and that way I don't have to grind much in here. I have enough to hold the tenon in there, and it'll be pretty flush. Now the old trunk handles I redid some. The old trunk handles, they left there might be a little bit sticking out on the back side. They don't worry about that because it's going against wood. So don't hurt nothing. And that's the way the originals were on these here that I replaced. One of them was missing, so I made a bunch up for these people that do primitive antiques. Now on these kind of handles here, if you notice, there's a tang been on here, and that tang is so I catch a handle, and you can lift up on the handle. If you didn't have this tang on there sticking out to catch, it would just go on up, and your knuckles would be up against the trunk handle, or whatever your handles are for. So this here is 1/4 inch, and the handle part is 1/4 inch, and that's what I'm gonna make this out of. The vise, and I bent it over 90 degrees, and if you ain't got too tight of a bend in there, it'll go into your thing I got there. Sometimes it's good to have one of these fastened and one of them not, and for your first piece, bend this handle around, and then you get your right length in there, hang. And then after you get the handle in there, put this in there and pin it over. Sometimes you can do both of them. It depends on how you want to do it. This is one way I put them in. I don't particularly like it, but I'll make sure it moves really good. Both of your handles are catching about the same, so it's up like that. It's free. That's one way of putting them together. Very fasten. This one here, you have it loose, and you get the handle matching right. And you get it fitting. Hold on to this right here. Turn it up, turn it like that there. When you flip it over, you can be able to hold it. Put some heat on here in the forge, and just pin it over. You got to be careful when you grab that like that there. Now that, you don't want too much heat going back in here, or you're gonna mess up this up. Peen this over a little bit cold. Peen this over a little bit cold so it'll stay there. Then put it in the forge this down and heat this. You don't want to heat the whole thing underneath. Make sure the shoulder's down on that piece. Make sure you didn't mess nothing up. And like I said, on the bottom here, on the old ones, you can still see the rivets there, and you can grind these off if you want to, but it's not necessary because these will suck into the wood. I prefer this method better, and it's if you got a torch, heat them up and just rivet them together, and it makes it a lot easier. You can do it in the forge like I just did, but it's all up to you, however you want to do it. Traditionally, they'd heated them up, and I like to get them. These are pretty heavy, so. And I don't know exactly what kind of material it was, is the reason I heated them up and peened them over. A lot of stock, mild steel, my stock, you can just peen it over cold and it's just as good. But not knowing what kind of stock you're using, I like to heat it up and make sure it's not going to crack or split on me.